Side Scrollers is brought to you by you. If you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com/sidescrollers. It's time for Side Scrollers on YouTube.com. With me, Stuttering Craig. You got a goal? Go get it. Adam Krigler.
Hi, buddy.
Blab.
Hi, chat. I love you. Mwah.
And producer extraordinaire, Travis Key.
Hi, guys.
And brought to you by you, the G2 community at patreon.com/sidescrollers. And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on planet Earth. It's time for Side Scrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and Twitch.tv. What's going on, everybody? Hey, I'm Stuttering Craig. Welcome to the #1 video game and entertainment podcast on planet Earth. It's Side Scrollers. Man, we got a good one today. An international affair, if you will. We have people from literally all throughout the globe joining us, starting with our wonderful Guamonian, Amazonian queen. It's Blabs. Hello.
It's just gonna be like a long ass title by like the end of the year. It's like Guamonian Amazonian Princess of like Shiraka or something. Hey, how's it going?
The what? Shiraka?
Yeah, why not?
The fuck is that?
Shiraka? Isn't that like freaking sauce?
Shiraka?
Yeah,
You talking about
isn't
sriracha? God damn it. Hi, Adam. How are you? God damn it. All right. Here we are. We're off to a rip-roaring start.
Wait a minute. Wait, so much just happened. What the fuck? Wait.
I'm
Hold
crying
on.
already.
Okay.
We're good.
I was originally going to ask if that was a city in Guam that I'd never heard of, but
yes, it is now.
turns out no, it's a Thai spice sauce that she uses and has her own way of pronouncing. Hi everyone, welcome. Welcome to Side Scrollers. How are all of you?
Oh, man. All right, we got Blabs in from Guam. We got Adam Krigler in from Sweden.
He said it right.
And then we have-
I'm trying to mix them up a bit.
We have our guest today from the other side of the world. Used to be a
We got
freaking
points
land
all over
of...
right now.
What's that?
We got points all over the planet on this show
Yes.
right now.
This is truly a global affair. Wonderfully global affair. Used to be a prison colony. Now it's just called Australia. It's Raging Rhino. Hello.
Hello. That's a place I want to go visit. Shiraka? I don't know.
Shiraka. Yeah,
Shiraka.
Shiraka. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's
wanna
an
come visit.
unknown lost city of Guam. Yeah, no one knows
Yeah.
about it.
It's like
Yeah.
Skull Island.
Exactly. Yeah, he
You know.
knows.
I'll say this: Green Goblin coming in. I don't know if this is accurate. I'm gonna guess, but maybe Blabs is right. Soraka is the correct native name.
Get him up. Get him out of there. Get out of there.
Banned. Ridiculous. Well, look, Trav, it will not be joining us today. He's having some people are doing some work outside of his house and making a lot of noise and stuff. So he's like, I'll just bounce. But no big deal. With that said, Travis will be joining me tonight for the first ever Side Scrollers After Dark. Because tonight,
That is really creepy.
yeah, you got
I'm not gonna lie. That's creepy, dude.
Side Scrollers After Dark. There you
That's
go. Is that-
also
that-
creepy.
okay.
No.
It's like
None
love
of-
songs and dedications or something.
The first guy is like the creep in the dark shadows of an alleyway.
Yeah, I feel
And
like
then
he needs to be holding a knife when he says these
The
things.
second
After
guy
dark.
is the guy that comes out when the first guy actually traps you in the alleyway. It's like, yo,
It's like a
okay.
dynamic duo.
Yeah, not cool,
All right,
man.
everyone close your eyes. Let's recreate this really quick.
All right, I'm gonna do it.
Adam, put your hands up.
Is that you conscious?
Adam, put your hands up,
Adam.
and you
Is
won't
that what
be
you-
stabbed. Quiet, just keep. Shut up, everyone. Shut up. Listen, everyone, just keep your eyes closed. Here we go. Listen, motherfucker, put your hands up.
Yeah, motherfucker, I'm gonna get you.
Oh, shit.
Is that good? Is that good? No. Oh God, he's out. I scared him off. It's great. I scared him off. Here we are.
Hi, Charles. That's the cat, by the way, Craig.
Charles the cat.
Charles,
King
yeah.
Charles.
I like that. Like I literally scared Adam off. Oh, there he is. Hey, Adam, how are you?
I don't know. I don't know. Must maybe that's what happened to you earlier. Because
Oh, did you not get bounced, or was that just a thing?
no, it just gave me
Reloaded?
like StreamYard gave me something went wrong. I've never seen that before actually.
StreamYard's been playing up like fuck recently.
Okay. Well, then you bounced at the perfect
No,
time.
you didn't scare me, dude. That was the worst acting I have ever heard. No. Don't
When he
don't
whispers
get
Adam
it
Not an
with,
fooled,
like,
actor.
people.
conscience or something.
Don't get it fooled. That was weak as shit. All right.
Labs. Stop drinking your. Sorry. you
can
can
hear
put echo on anything. You can put echo on anything. Sorry. Okay. Look, we got a big
This
show.
boomer just discovered a voice changer, guys.
Dude, listen, I was been begging for this my entire life, man. The idea to modulate and change my voice on the fly. God, it's awesome. So good.
Anyway.
Get
yeah,
it out
it's
of your
amazing.
system. Just keep going. Let's
Get it out.
I'd rather
All right.
just have it all out and then instead of you like
Just randomly coming out.
I
Just
don't
out of
know.
nowhere. You guys can find us over on Rumble today, rumble.com/sidescrolls. We are hanging out over there as well. Here on this special 420 extravaganza where I don't smoke weed. Does anybody smoke weed here?
I used to smoke a lot of weed.
Yeah.
I don't really much anymore. Here and there, still dabble.
I haven't
What-
I haven't enjoyed it in years. I had with a friend of mine and I was like, I don't enjoy this like I used to. I don't know why. It's just not for me. Vlad
You
smokes
grow-
a lot of weed.
Grow out of it.
Love it. Love it.
Maybe that's
Nick-
what happened, yeah.
Nara says, I do on Fridays. There you go, right there. Right.
It's
Vlad says,
Friday
I'm doing
somewhere.
it right now.
It's Friday for Rhino.
It is fun for me.
Vlad.
Awesome.
Pixar didn't happen.
Love it. Love it. So you can find us over on Rumble. Also this week, obviously, in addition to Raging Rhino, we have tomorrow, we're going to have a really fun guest, Handy Capable Sean. Once again, he's a Twitch streamer who plays games with his chin. He's not handicapped. He's handy capable, baby.
Boom.
Looking forward to that. So in addition, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up button while you guys are hanging out with us today. We're going for 250 thumbs up today. Can we do that? Whether you guys are watching live or whether you guys are watching on the on the archive, make sure you guys
Now,
hit the button.
is this across all platforms? Because Rumble has the thumbs up and YouTube. So are we doing like just YouTube, just Rumble 250? Are we adding them? I'm just wondering how this works.
Rumble, we're going for 6,000 actually. So if everybody could just hit that, that'd be really
Oh,
great. Yeah.
okay.
So, but it'll
Nice.
yeah, we'll see how that goes. But look, we got a big show because Raging Rhino's you're gonna talk to us about Mandalorian, huh?
Yeah. If you really want me to, I can. Don't worry.
Absolutely.
There's plenty
I'm so
to say.
excited for that.
Oh man.
Listen, I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good. But
Yep.
let's see. Got the show tonight. And anything else we need to talk about? No, not really. Okay, so before we get, I'll tell you. Let's just get into it. Let's get into my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for hard news. Hard news.
Is hard news.
It's not the same.
I know. I'll listen.
Whatever.
We'll
I-
figure it
Apologize
out.
to
I had no
Adam
creative-
and,
I had no
use
creative
the
input.
phone as a backup for Adam's voice. Just say you're sorry.
I was gonna work on it. I'm not gonna apologize. Listen, Paul Hadouken worked hard on that.
Labs.
All right. I'm not gonna apologize for
Got
Paul
you,
Hadouken's
bro.
hard work. All right.
Labs
Paul's
got my
great.
back, yo. Single
All right.
tier. Oh, there's two. There's two. One on each side.
All right.
Just
Let's
apologize.
Okay.
I just it's that easy.
apologize for what?
You
taking-
fired
For
Adam.
taking my thunder.
You made him drink out of a sippy cup.
Well, no, that I actually really enjoy my sippy cup, which
Well, it's probably
actually,
better than corn.
it's out of water.
Sippy cups are
Sometimes you
good.
just spill.
I
All right,
just
Adam-
enough to avoid that.
If we could
Just
move
the right
past the hard news intro, which seems to be a breakdown of the show for 3 minutes every time we do an intro.
And it
Such
will
controversy.
be until you
An
apologize.
intro.
Damn it.
We can actually get into the story that Adam himself wanted to talk about. Here we are. This is let me pull these
Yeah,
down
your
here.
DM.
We don't need
you got
DMs
them,
open.
them DMs open.
That's okay. They're always open for the right
Noticed.
people. Actually, they're closed at all times. You wanted to talk about this, Adam, but what this is something that happened today?
Well, this is monumentous. I mean, we are witnessing the turn of a new era in space exploration. Elon Musk and SpaceX is really making leaps and bounds progress in just everything that they're doing, from relanding rockets and the competition out there that has always gotten the government subsidies to basically just have like a status quo instead of actually having competition in the industry. So SpaceX is actually forcing other space industries to create their own self-landing rockets. It's kind of like if you don't have that, you're basically living in the 90s still. So this right here, this is Starship, and it's the largest rocket, and it is freaking powerful. This thing is going to be the thing that brings us to Mars. So we are witnessing the new era. Like, it's happening right in front of us. Like, that thing is going to bring humans to Mars. Like, that is incredible to think about. Now, sadly, it did end up exploding, but Starship itself, the top half, that's Starship. The bottom half is the booster that's getting it into low Earth orbit. Now, that thing crashed. I think 6 times, no, 10 times, a lot, until they actually figured out everything that was wrong with it and were able to have that thing land itself. So it's all in the process of getting out there. It's expensive, and Elon Musk is taking it upon himself to get us to Mars, and it's freaking awesome to see it. So I'm really excited about it.
So this was a test launch. Was this is the first test launch of the mission for Mars?
Correct. Well, it's more about Starship, because this thing's going to be able to go to the moon. This thing's going to be able to get to the other side of the planet.
Fuck is that?
That's all of the boosters at the bottom of the booster rocket. They're
Okay.
all the I think the Raptor 9s.
Oh, I see it.
Oh yeah, I see. Oh, man, it just looked like glowing dots in the sky.
Yeah.
Aliens.
So
Yeah,
what?
so
Did
that
this
thing is
thing?
incredibly powerful. Go ahead. What?
Did this thing not make it? Like, did this? I saw this launch happening. There you
So
go.
right
That
here,
answers my
actually.
question.
So what was supposed to happen is there's actually a camera in the place where it's supposed to separate. So the Starship was supposed to separate from the reactor, or the booster rocket on the bottom, and unfortunately it wasn't able to detach. Now you can see it's starting to spin, which it's supposed to do, but they're supposed to separate first, so one can continue on, and the booster can right itself and land itself like the other Falcon rockets that Elon Musk has designed. Now, I actually was living in California for a little while, and I was borrowing my friend's car. I was staying at a buddy's house for a little while, and he worked at Tesla. And in Hawthorne, before Elon Musk moved everything to Texas, SpaceX and Tesla were in the same place. So I would wake up and I would drive him to work at Tesla, and I would go. You have to drive past, like, through SpaceX to get to where Tesla was. So I got to see these rockets being built before it kind of became a big thing. This was like eight years ago. So I got to I watched them kind of build these things, and it was so cool because I love space exploration. I'm kind of a geek when it comes to like loving this stuff. I grew up on Star Trek, Stargate, anything that had to do with the stars. I was all about. I wanted to be an astronaut. Of course, I'm colorblind, so I couldn't join the Air Force, which was my path into being an astronaut. Another
sad day. We need to get to those monochromatic glasses.
I tried them actually, and they don't work. My wife for Christmas one year, and nothing changed. I was
You're old. You're really colorblind.
Yeah,
no,
I'm the proper colorblind.
Actually, it's
no
because
glasses can fix this.
I'm so slight colorblind that it's not. It's very certain hues. It's not like I can't see color at all, or that yellow. Oh no, that's blue. Like no, I mean I could see reds, I could see greens, but there's certain shades that I can't tell the difference between. And it's annoying, but I couldn't. I think they actually changed their policy now, but when I was growing up,
he's gonna go join right now.
No, it's a little late for me, but I'm excited about this stuff. I think going to Mars is going to be a really huge moment for our known history.
How many years away are we from this thing?
If I had to guess, 8.
So you think in the next decade, we're going to have somebody on Mars?
Definitely, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we're going to the moon again in 2 years with Artemis, so that's pretty cool. Like we're
Again? Really? Again? No, I'm only joking.
Been there.
it doesn't matter whether
did
we've
we
been
actually
there.
go?
Yeah, right.
Was Kubrick just did he do the set? Who knows? I don't know, but we are going. How long does it take to get to Mars? I think 6 or 7 months.
Dang.
If I recall, I don't remember exactly. But
obviously
maybe
the ship is so much bigger now. Isn't he building the ship in space, like putting it all together in pieces, segments?
Well, there is a plan. There's actually companies that are space construction companies that are working on essentially a 3D printer style way of building craft in space, but the technology hasn't really fully been achieved. I mean, the problem, honestly, is the amount of money that is into it. It's too expensive at the moment. There's just no, like people aren't interested in going to space as much as private industry. Elon Musk, for example, he's doing this on his own and making it work. Of course, he made the Dragon capsule, which now brings NASA astronauts into space instead of America having to spend, I think it was $13 million per astronaut to Russia just to like get into space. And now NASA can just hire SpaceX and it's like $9 million per flight for all of them. And it's like, that's a major difference, So like the cost is going down. Now you don't have to rebuild the rockets. Now you reuse them. So now it's just fuel and making sure that it's still in working order, which I don't recall how many flights one rocket has. I know it's over 10. So it's amazing, like how many times you could reuse these rockets, reusability. It's really amazing. So
when you think about that, it's kind of incredible what Elon Musk is actually doing, not just with SpaceX, with all the projects, everything that he's got like a finger in. He is. I love Elon Musk. I reckon he's great, and he's great for the world.
I hope that he is the person that he seems to be, right?
I agree with that too. Yeah, actually,
I'm optimistically. No, I don't want to say skeptic, but I'm cautiously optimistic, I guess is a better way to say it. I mean, the boring company that he's trying to get rid of traffic. I think that's actually more in getting in line to make underground bases in Mars, because Mars doesn't have an atmosphere like Earth does. So having bases outside doesn't make as much sense as actually burrowing down into Mars and having like underground bases on Mars, because it'll have like a much better natural protection against asteroids, radiation, and all that stuff. So I think that's kind of why he's getting into it, but also it is helping us here on Earth, with the tunnels that he's building. I don't know if they're gonna work. I mean, it's basically going on the fact that everything's going to be electric, which probably will be the case. But that's kind of a different conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Musk is one of the most fascinating people ever. I think he's a straight up alien, to be honest with you. I don't even know if that guy's from Earth, man.
He's from Mars.
Like,
yeah.
Straight up.
He's trying to get home.
He's just trying to get home. Yeah. ET phone home, please.
ET phone, yeah.
It's crazy. Hey, Extra Zero came in and says, Adam looking like that was soft news right there, Craig. Easy, Extra Zero. Listen, I
he's
can't control.
No, Extra Zero is absolutely right.
I'm actually agreeing with Adam.
He's very astute.
Hey, Scotty came in and says, I just bought a side strollers hat. Also, I'm straight. When I see Craig and Adam, I'm as straight as a donut, brother.
Nice with the hole in the middle. I see.
I see what's going on. I like that. Thanks, Scotty. Appreciate that.
When you mentioned, sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, Just Scrappy also came in with a tier 1 sub for 7 months. Thank you so much. And listen to this. This is a big deal. Hey, listen to this. Neris Faree came in with $50 super chat. Says, for some reason I was named employee of the month, but y'all deserve the associated bonus. They gave me more. Wow.
Oh,
that's so rad.
that's
Incredibly
so
nice.
Wait, does that mean we are the employee of the month? Right?
Let's go. Let's go.
Employee of the month.
Yes.
Yeah.
We did it, guys.
The one and
'Cause
only
I'm
title
here.
of the Employee of the Month.
Non-stop insanity. I love it. All right, nice. Wow, that's awesome. Hey, give it up for the Employee of the Month right there. Neris, congratulations. That is great. That is awesome. Man, that's great. It's great stuff. I love that we can have like great conversation in our chat. And I'll say this. I saw somebody. Let me make sure I pull this up. I want to make sure I got exactly who it was. It was Mr. Calvarino. Yeah, Mr. Calvarino. He says, feed the homeless and stop faking space. Right. And Mr. Calvarino is, I think, a skeptic when it comes to space and all that stuff. I would love, like, that's something that I would love to do in the evening or like after dark, where we have like dissenting opinions on these type of things. And, just kind of have that conversation, not to change anybody's mind, just to hear other perspectives. I think it's always a fun conversation, but generally when those conversations happen, there's some sort of yelling and shouting, which is why I'd be the moderator, which is great. So, anyways, that'd be fun to do. That would be
No,
fun
the Earth is flat.
Hey, all I know is that Australia doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's right.
Have you
I
heard
was
that
gonna say,
theory?
yeah, when we live in upside down world or something. I don't know.
How does that work? By the way, how does that work when people say Australia doesn't exist? Yet here I am talking to somebody who lives in Australia, and I've been there as well.
He says
We're actually broadcasting from Mars. We're already there. It's just you just don't know it. No, I don't know. We're here. We're definitely way ahead of you. It's funny though. There was this
in terms of what?
Time.
That's it. All right.
Intellectualism, like we're ahead of you in every facet. No.
Australian superiority.
Yeah, that's right. I can't remember what I was going to say now.
Sorry, that was my bad.
He's so advanced, he forgot.
Yeah, I forgot. It is 2:30 in the morning here, so I'm a little bit slow at the moment in the head. But yeah, I don't know. We're here. We live down under. We're on the southern hemisphere. That's why it seems so weird to you guys.
I got a really important question for you, actually, when it comes to dealing with Australians and people in the southern hemisphere. Do you have Outback Steakhouse in Australia?
It's a great question. Don't laugh, Blabs. That's a good question.
No, it actually is. That's why I'm laughing. Because, like, wow, I never thought of that. I talk to Ryan every day.
Not really. We don't have a place called Outback Steakhouse. And there might be one around.
In the Outback, though.
Dan's never going.
Like,
no?
I don't know. I know that in different states in Australia, there's different, like, I guess you got different cultures of Australians. But, and obviously there's different accents. I know people say that between me and another guy I work with, Lethal Lightning, you've probably heard of him, some of you. But a lot of people say we talk very differently from each other.
Yes, but do you have an actual physical restaurant location called Outback Steakhouse?
Outback Steakhouse. No, not that I know of. I've never seen one.
That doesn't serve you shrimp on the Barbie. It doesn't serve you steaks. It doesn't bring you bread when you first show up. And for God's sakes, doesn't have a bloomin' onion.
No, and shrimp on the Barbie isn't a thing, okay? I don't know where that came from. It's like something that came up in the 80s or something. I don't know. Chuck another shrimp on the Barbie. I don't know where it comes from.
Where did that come from then?
Who puts
so that's
shrimp
not
on
Australian.
It's a goddamn conspiracy.
It is a conspiracy.
But do you barbecue shrimp down there?
No.
You don't?
No.
Not at all?
No
Australian barbecue shrimp down there.
Well, at least not in the Rhino state, we can say.
Well, yeah, not for me. I've never seen it. I've never heard it. I've never walked into a restaurant and said, "Can I please have a barbecued shrimp?" Thank you.
Would you say shrimp on the Barbie though?
Yeah, can you chuck another shrimp on the Barbie for me?
Now is that one of those things
I'll order another shrimp on the Barbie.
Do Australians get upset about this? That like some other culture made up something called shrimp on the Barbie? Like you're defending that it's not Australian, but is it like triggering when you hear that?
Not for some people, I'm sure it is.
Some people, okay.
I don't really care all that much, to be honest. But it's kind of the same thing with like Fosters. You all think we drink Fosters down here? Like I don't even think my local bottle-o sells Fosters, to be honest with you.
Australian for beer. That's
Did
right.
you say bottle-o?
Bottle-o. It's a bottle shop. Bottle like
a bottle, like a liquor store.
Yeah.
Bottle.
What the name of it?
We've
Like,
got,
call it? Like
learn
I don't
something new
know. I
every
don't know
day.
if you guys have got them, but we've got drive-through bottle shop, like
drive-through liquor stores.
Liquor stores.
Well, we got the bottle shop. You could continue your Australian stuff.
Yeah,
It's a drive-through over there, man. We're
drive-through
behind.
bottle.
You literally drive in, go, oh, can I get a 6-pack or something, whatever. And they bring it out to your car. You give them your card. They go and
It's like the
tap
CVS
it.
pharmacy. Yeah, can I get a
So
6-pack to go?
If you ask for Foster's, will they look at you weird? Be like, what?
Probably. They probably would.
Foster's?
Again, I don't know where that came from. I guess because I don't even think Foster's is an Australian beer, is it?
Probably not.
I see Lethal in the chat.
Well, see what you do. Yeah, Foster's. Their entire advertising campaign was Australian for beer. That's always Australian for beer, right? So, and that was really big in the let's say 90s, maybe early 2000s, and it was like this rough and gruff thing. Really big advertising campaign, but in this advertising does wonderful things. You know,
I reckon it's got something to do with Crocodile Dundee.
I
don't know why.
I love that movie. Do Australians like it?
I think it's fine.
Okay.
I don't like. There's definitely some funny moments in it. I love when he looks at his like assistant's watch, and then he walks over by the girl, and then he looks at the sun and tells the time. But he's just just things like that really get me.
Right.
That's definitely very Aussie, you know.
Nice. Yeah,
he's very because Dundee is an amazing character, but there's so much lore around him, but he uses common sense. Like he looked, the idea of looking at a watch and looking up, it's great stuff. Great stuff.
It is good. But yeah,
Blake says, I think a dingo at your baby. I don't even know what the hell that means.
Ate your baby. Is
your
that
baby.
also a thing?
It is actually a story that was down here, yes, back in I think it was the late 80s, early 90s. And the funny thing is about that story is that she...
It's a funny thing.
Well, might not be that funny. She got charged and arrested for the murder of her own baby. And then about 10 years later or 20 years later or something, they've identified that I don't know why, but there was some conspiracy behind it, and it actually was a dingo that stole her baby.
It's really fucking sad. I don't know what's funny about that at all, and I'm
No,
judging
it's not.
you now.
It's it's a saying in Australia. You know, I don't know. It's the way I talk. It's the way I talk.
Damn, dude. You want to know the funny thing is? She went to jail, and turns out the dingo did eat her baby.
All right, it's not that funny. But yeah.
I'm just fucking with you, Doc.
Oh my god, that's great. Hey,
I'm just fucking with you, Dingo.
Oh no, I know.
Diana came in with a Rumble rant. Says, "Good morning, love y'all." Thank you so much, Diana. Greatly appreciate that. That's very, very nice of you. Those Rumble rants are awesome. It's great to be live over on Rumble. Look, I feel like we've hit all sorts of cultural milestones talking to you this morning, Raging Rhino. These are important questions that at least me as an ignorant American.
Someone somewhere.
Oh yeah, Blabs. Yes.
I forget. Do you like Vegemite?
Oh, I love Vegemite. Vegemite.
Have you guys ever had any?
But this is the thing.
I can't deal with this guy. Vegemite.
That was it. That was the straw has been broken.
Great guy. Until then he said that. Then it crossed the line.
I mean, is there an Australian that doesn't like Vegemite though? Is that a thing?
I'm sure there are some out there that don't, but I think it is pretty universally loved in Australia. And it's definitely our thing. That's definitely a thing. But it depends on how you eat it. Like it's like when Americans come to Australia and they're like, oh, the Aussies are all around you. You got to try Vegemite. You got to try Vegemite. Like they're cruel. Australians are cruel. We're cruel people. We basically will get like a knife and just scoop out a bit. And it's like, just eat it off the knife. Or like you get a teaspoon of it. And it's like, here, just put that in your mouth. Eat it like a lollipop or something like that. That's the wrong way to eat Vegemite, and then it just turns people off it. It's like nobody
give us
wants
your
to
best Vegemite recipe? Like, what would you want me to try? If you wanted me to
Oh.
try it for the first time, how would you prepare it?
Vegemite on toast is by far the way to eat.
That's it?
A piece of bread.
Vegemite. Yeah, but
That's
you don't, this is the thing. Like Vegemite, it's nothing special, man.
Okay.
It's this black goo that you basically. It's a
Just-
spread. It's like peanut butter.
Okay.
Except it doesn't taste good.
How would you cook with peanut butter? It's like, all right, well, you put it in a sandwich or you put
There's
it, you know,
peanut sauces that are really good that you
Yeah,
use peanut.
all
peanut
right,
butter.
fine. A bad example.
Hey man, don't give me easy questions. I'll knock them out.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
All right, jam then, or jelly, as you guys call it. Well, how would
Jam
you-
or jelly?
you know,
I mean, you could bake all sorts of
all
awesome
right,
cookies.
all right.
Keep them coming, Doug. I got you.
Yeah.
Hey,
Anyway, the best way to eat Vegemite is butter on toast, and you got to put like a nice thick layer of butter on toast, and then a very thin layer of Vegemite, and it just sets it off. It's the best.
Welcome
Hey.
to my world, Rhino.
can we?
Yeah.
The welcome to like an hour of getting your shit kicked in. That's a side scroller.
Hey, I like this guy though. I like this guy.
He's good. I like it a lot.
Okay.
All right. Hey,
Yeah,
Green Goblin has been very, very adamant about. I would like to get Blab's pronunciation, then Adam's. I'll pronounce it, and then we'll finish up with the native Australian of this word. Blabs.
Melbourne. I did it wrong. Shit.
I
did
I
it
say
wrong.
I did it wrong.
Melbourne.
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 Is it Melbourne?
Blabs is closest there with the
Melbourne.
last one. Melbourne.
Melbourne.
I knew it. I was like, wait a second, I did it
Melbourne.
wrong.
You kind of drop
trained.
Melbourne. It's BON. It's like Melbourne.
It's like
You dropped
Toronto
so
and
many
Toronto.
letters.
It's weird that you guys get
I'm
rid of
from Melbourne.
R's when R's exist, and then add R's where there's no R's that
Yeah.
exist. That's interesting. I find that interesting.
Yeah.
Making
Melbourne.
it up as they go.
Like Barrett says, that's not a knife. That's a spoon. By the way, one of
Yeah.
the greatest lines in cinema history. That's
It's
not a
pretty
knife.
good.
This is a knife.
It's pretty good.
This is
We
an
need
art.
that for when Dan shows up with his big ass knife again.
Oh my god, it's awesome.
That was funny.
GK says, as a rhino, as an Aussie, which slur do you prefer? Boomerang chucker or Vegemite man? I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube, but
Too late.
I'm Boomerang Chucker or Vegemite Man. I've never heard either of those two as an actual slur.
Get fucked, GK.
I can't really answer the question. But yeah. Sorry.
Well, which one of those two do you prefer? That's the if you had to be called one of them, which one would you
Well,
prefer?
have you chucked a boomerang before?
I have chucked a boomerang. It didn't really come back to me because I probably didn't chuck it properly.
Same.
Not every Australian can chuck a boomerang properly.
Rite of passage.
I can play a didgeridoo, but I can't circular breathe a didgeridoo. That's the only problem.
Cool.
But out of those two slurs, it'd probably just be Vegemite Man, I guess.
That's
But
a
it,
slur?
but he's like, I'm gonna own that shit because I love.
Yeah,
the
that's right. I
Vegemite."
love the Vegemite, so bring it
I am
on.
the Vegemite man.
Here's a bigger question. Every single podcast that you go on that is hosted by somebody not from Australia, do you just go through this exact same dog and pony dance? This show where they're like, tell us about Australia. It's Australia. It's so much fun. Tell us, Vegemite.
It definitely, the questions do come, especially if like they've never really spoken to, like if they've been on stream with other Aussies and stuff like that before. I don't think it's as much as
As this.
yeah. Well, I don't really mind. Like, if people want to know, people ask questions. We have a bit of fun with it. I don't have a problem with answering the questions, on 20 different streams if I have to.
I love it. Love it.
I don't know. I don't. You want to know? I'll answer the questions and I'll be honest about it. Like those slurs, I got no fucking clue what you're talking about.
All right. Hey, as Blab put it in the chat, make sure you guys go subscribe to Raging Rhino. His YouTube channel's down there. You guys go up in there and you can find him. Jeremy Wormy just comes in straight up to your face and lets you know that Australia's fake.
Yeah, I hear it all the time.
Just like the idea of like,
Real.
and you don't exist.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeremy Wormy, thank you so much. Appreciate that.
I'm an AI image. This is how good it's got.
Projecting
Hey,
from
hey,
Mars.
all the way from Australia.
Mm-hmm.
He really
Hey,
means
Dirk-
like Alaska or something.
Crazy Alaskans. Jeremy Wormy, thank you so much. A pleasure to have you in. Great to see you, my friend. All right, so let's move on to another story. Actually, I guess our first story here. Did you know that you guys are owed money? Do you know this? Do you have Facebook?
Tell me more. Tell me more.
Yes, you are owed money. Congratulations.
What?
There was a $725 million settlement.
So am I getting like a penny?
Well,
Right.
probably. You may get a buck or two. But U.S. users. Oh, you know what? Sorry, Blabs. You're from Guam.
Damn.
Oh, sorry, Adam.
Oh,
More money for me. Let's go.
I'm American, Greg.
Well, yeah, but you don't live there, do you? I don't know. U.S. users.
I'm still American.
Okay, sounds good. Listen, I don't know the rules. You gotta take it up with the class
just letting
action.
you know.
Place. Well, I know you're American through and through. Fucking America.
That's right.
$725 million class action lawsuit. Federal judge recently gave the initial approval to a $725 million settlement between Meta and Facebook users, alleging the company shared their personal data without proper consent. If you used, listen, this is ridiculous. If you used Facebook between May 2007 and December 2022, right?
So nearly its entire existence.
Right. And lived in the U.S. during that time, Adam, you're eligible to get cash from the settlement. It's not a life-changing money, obviously. It's going to be a few bucks, obviously, because there's like 300 million users on it. But you can claim by adding confirmation at facebookuserprivacysettlement.com to your contact list to ensure any important correspondence doesn't end up in your spam filter. So anyways,
I want to check my spam.
you may want to check it out.
I'm gonna get in there and then I'm gonna call JG Wentworth. We'll get that money.
That's right. 877 cash now. Is that what it is? I think it's what it is.
That's it.
Talk about advertisement working, man. That's crazy.
Well, you had to drop their phone number. I was just
not sponsored.
making a joke with it.
Love it. But anyways, I think that's, hey, is it absolutely insane that they're only paying $725 million when they're a $1 billion and you and your data is their product? Yes, absolutely. That's like saying all your data. How much
money do you think they made?
Right.
Sorry, go ahead.
Exactly. No, say all your data over the course of that 15 years is worth, I don't know, $4. Like, get out of here. So,
well,
anyways,
how far is that 725 million really going to go? It's like you're saying, how many users are there between May 2007 and December 2022? Like millions upon millions of subscribers, new accounts. Like, people set up business accounts on Facebook. People set up it's not just an individual thing, and it hasn't been for a very long time. So when you kind of think about how many users, like how far is that $725 million really going to go?
Well, let me tell you, because I'm looking at their quarterly revenue. Oh, let me make sure I got this proper. Yeah, here we are. Here's from Statista, the number of millions of US dollars. Let's see. Here we go. Check this out. This is from Statista. They're a stat website. This is numbers in millions of dollars. So in 2007, they made $153 million, right? And so from here, this is when it started, all the way up until, right here. So this is 116,609. That's not dollars. That's millions of dollllars, right?
So it's 116 billion. Is that correct?
I think that's right. If then they grossed 23 billion. So the revenue. So anyways, $750 million is a drop in the bucket to these guys.
Yep.
That's the moral of the story. So that's right. As Empty Ryan says, all your data are belonging to us. That's right. That's right, man. It's crazy. But
is it Empty Ryan or Empyrean? You've always said Empty Ryan, and it's always bugged me.
It is. It is Empyrean. Yes, I'm sorry. Sometimes I miss letters. You guys know that. I'm not a good reader. You guys know that. So that's all right.
So neither am I.
All right. Look, I wanted to keep this on on. I want to keep this on Facebook in Meta, and this is borderline political, but it shouldn't be. So you can abstain from the conversation if you like, but and we got to be careful how we talk about this, especially on YouTube.
His eyebrow, Adam. What is that? You're like Amelia Clark just then.
But
anyway, go on.
I want to read the story, and we can kind of go from there, okay? Because an oversight board has asked Meta to reassess what COVID-19 misinformation it removes, and the board has also asked Meta that they should study its own role in helping false claims spread. So this was breaking news today that came on, and it says in its policy advisory opinion, the oversight board said that Meta should continue to remove false claims about the pandemic that are quote likely to directly contribute to the risk of imminent and significant physical harm, and that it should quote reassess the specific claims that qualify the removal. The board also recommended that Meta make it easier for external researchers to study misinformation and study how its own algorithm could contribute to the spread of harmful misinformation. So anyways, I thought that was kind of interesting, considering, like my brother's in Facebook jail right now, by the way. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but he's in Facebook jail just for singing songs. So,
well,
hey, without getting too deep in it, Raging Rhino, you're Australians, and you're an Australian, and from the outside looking in, man, that looked like a really fucked up situation.
And the biggest, it was actually in my state where most of that footage that you guys around the world saw was from Melbourne here where I am. I hate this whole situation that we're in with all the big tech companies and the misinformation stuff. And I'm like, if you want to say that, you should be allowed to say whatever you want to say. And whether or not that gets caught up in the dialogue of what's actually going on, or whether or not it just people brush it off and pay no attention to it, whatever you really want to say, as long as it's not threatening or harming in any major way, you should be allowed to say what you want to say. Now, I mean, Mark Zuckerberg came out on Joe Rogan and said that didn't he specifically say that they were told to censor some things during the pandemic and all of that sort of garbage?
Oh, there's there's a lot of wrong things that you couldn't say. Still things you can't say.
But the crazy thing is a lot of those things that you weren't allowed to say back then has now come out to be actual fact.
Isn't that right,
Adam? Adam.
Adam is going to sustain. He's going to sustain here, which probably a good reason.
No, look.
Do you not think so?
Oh no. I'm just gonna say I have 9 strikes on my YouTube channel, and half of them are medical misinformation. And like you said, the things that have come out now have been proven true. So all of my strikes weren't misinformation; they were information, and I was wrongfully removed from YouTube multiple times because of it. And I have a lot to say about all of this, and I can't because we're on YouTube. And this isn't my personal channel. This is our stuff that we've got going on side scrollers. So I'm just gonna.
Sorry, maybe I should be careful with what I'm saying.
No. I would stop. Okay. I would stop you. I'm very good actually because I've been through it, so I know
I think that's ridiculous. The fact that you've ended up with 9 strikes on your channel, and all because of misinformation that has now probably come out that what you were saying in those videos is actually true. That is what's actually dangerous.
Exactly.
People want to argue, they're stealing our democracy and all of this kind of thing. It's like that. That is stealing people's freedom of speech. The fact that even if it wasn't true, for how many years now have people been saying things, conspiracies did we actually go to the moon? Why is that people can have conversations about that, and you can talk about that openly on YouTube and everything else, but when it comes to this specific subject, it's no, it's this way. And that should be an indicator to a lot of people that it's not necessarily as transparent as maybe you think it is, or you've been sucked in to believe. I just, there's so many red flags with it that's what scares me with where we're moving forward as a civilization, as a human race. Because with the way the internet is now, it's not really, for me, it's not really America, Australia, Europe. We are one basically planet now with how connected we actually are.
Right now, have you ever read the book or seen the movie 1984? You know about 1984?
Yeah. Oh, I've never seen the movie, I don't think.
Or read the book? Either one.
Do you know the premise behind it?
But you know the premise,
No.
right?
No.
So the premise, it's a totalitarian world where you're being, I don't know, you have to fall in line. Essentially, you have to follow their narrative, or you're
basically being suppressed into submission.
Ostracized. Yeah, everyone is, right. It's like the supreme overlord world where totalitarianism reigns supreme, and you have to say what color the sky is that they deem the color. Like, oh, today it's orange. Say the sky is orange, but no, it's blue. I see it's blue. Well, no, you're wrong. It's orange.
Yeah.
What we say it is, it is. Now, I don't know if you saw this, that I tweeted this out the other day, but I just share that real quick. Penguin announced major revisions to the new edition of George Orwell's 1984. The novel requires updating in line with progressive sensibilities.
Crazy.
Said a consultant for an anti-exclusionary minds, a group engaged by Penguin to moderate Orwell's critique of totalitarianism.
Wait. I'm sorry.
This is
That's
the most
real?
Yeah, this is real. This is the most 1984 shit I've ever seen. Like they're changing the words of 1980. Like, did you read the book? Do you understand that it's like the ultimate?
You're doing exactly what the book is doing.
But that's the world we're living in right now.
It is.
And that's why they're going so hard in the paint for making sure the narrative is upheld. You must believe what we say, because it doesn't matter if you believe it or not. What we say is the truth, and we are science. That is exactly it. The narrative's dude.
The narrative's fucked.
That's fantastic. That's
okay. Well, hold on. That's just to be really clear. I thought that was a joke. That's real, Adam. I saw that tweet. That's real. That is a real thing that's happening.
That's what I've seen other people that
Isn't that the publisher Puffer or something like that? That's a real publishing company.
Penguin is the publishing company.
I can't even believe that. Like, that seems so fucking fake. That. Like, so ridiculous that I was like, oh, that's got to be a parody. Got to be a parody. Like, oh my gosh, unreal.
Let me double check it.
Yeah, please, I mean, okay, that's
I hope
crazy.
it's fake.
But see, again, it's all the stuff like that. Like, we all hope that something like that is fake. But when you go on, let's say, the Disney Channel now, everything's got a disclaimer. Like, we talk about they talk about the birds in Dumbo, and how racist they are now. You got to put in a disclaimer before we start. All of these kinds of things. It's like, man, art has progressively changed and evolved just alongside civilization as we've moved forward. Now, yes, there were times in the past where, let's say, racism was a thing. I don't know really about the whole sexism thing, but yeah, okay, the women fight to vote and all of that sort of thing. Like, all of these things where we've moved forward to the point now where, are we actually going backwards? Are we really looking at life where, like, the feminist movement is all about basically now biological men. Yeah, but being anti-men, but also biological men taking over women's spaces and women's roles and all of, like, are we really getting to this point in civilization? Like, have you guys ever seen the movie Idiocracy?
Yes,
definitely.
Like, that to me is actually more and more each day becoming a documentary as opposed 100%. To a.
I know people that have that conversation. Like, well, the world's fucked. It'd be bad to bring children into the world. But also, what you were just saying there, the last strike I got on my YouTube channel was for hate speech, because I was calling out the stupidity of men playing against women in sports, and a guy claiming he was a girl and trying to get into a sorority, and they wouldn't let him in because he's a guy. Yeah, and that's all. All I was saying is like, dude, make your own. Like, make a sorority, a trans sorority, like so that there's a spot for you because women there's a reason women's spaces exist, and it's to like separate them from men who want to
I'll
get
say
into
this,
those
man.
places to be dirty, and not all of them, but like
But
the
Adam,
people that do will take advantage of that shit.
man, the thing that scares me so much is that there's medical professionals out there that can't even define what a woman is these days. Like, how far have we fallen that is not like that is actually a thing where you ask a doctor who's a trained professional in this area, their expertise should be beyond the scope. Like, you should be able to ask, what's the definition of this? And you get an instant couple of word definition of what it actually is. You just can't get it anymore. It blows my mind where the world's going.
And the fact that we have to tiptoe along these lines here on YouTube, the second largest search engine in the world, the number one video hosting site in the world, in saying these things. Otherwise you can't talk on this platform.
Yep.
Right. And that's the thing. You will be flagged. You will be flagged for saying the things that are wrong if you don't think a certain way, if you don't say the certain thing. And that's insane. Like, that is, if people can't look at that from the outside looking in and be like, yeah, that's pretty fucked up. Like, I can't help you. I can't help you if you can't look at it from the outside and be like, that's a really fucked up situation. I mean, you're clearly blind. You're clearly a sheep, and you clearly can't look outside your own little bubble. It's crazy. So, anyways, look, there's obviously it's obviously a lot, but it'll be interesting to see what happens with Meta and Facebook, if I can bring it back to the story, and if they do anything, which they probably won't. So, let's move on to some actual video games here, which should be nice. Fun. Nice video games indeed. Okay. Atari is trying to make a comeback. Have you guys known this?
Really?
You guys know? Yeah, Atari's trying to make a comeback. They've been slowly acquiring different franchises and stuff, and they have gone in and they went in and they announced this morning they acquired over 100 PC and console titles today. From like the 80s and stuff. Nothing like spectacular. But there were a few that were interesting. They're definitely trying to play towards the retro crowd. But they picked up the biggest one that piqued my eye was Bubsy. Do you guys remember Bubsy at all?
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
It was
I'll probably recognize it.
It does sound familiar, but I can't remember. Atari was so long ago, man. The single stick with the button on the side.
Right.
The good old days. Wow.
So Bubsy the Bobcat was like, he was a product of the 90s, and he had a TV show. He had all sorts of stuff. Like, he was kind of a big deal. And this was his gameplay. They actually tried to reboot him a couple of years ago, but it was like it's like a regular old platformer. It's just like this cat. Yeah. So
it looks familiar.
Yeah.
They tried to reboot him a few years ago. It didn't go so well. I'd be interested to see kind of like how they acquired this bundle of games, but it's just kind of interesting to see, as they go through and they are slowly kind of coming in. They picked up 1942 and F-14, like all these things. Says this is a deep catalog that includes groundbreaking and award-winning titles from acclaimed games. That's it. Infogrames, infograms, I guess, and microprose. I know Accolade from back in the day. So, anyways, it's just kind of a neat little talking point about to see Atari trying to make a little comeback.
I don't know how it's going to fly though. Like, I understand like there's retro gamers out there, but this wasn't actually that long ago. It was only a few years ago. I bought an old Atari. It's got this Bluetooth controller now, and it's got all the games. Like, all the games Atari had actually loaded in the like, you don't have cartridges anymore. So they're all loaded in the game. I chucked it on my TV, and I think I opened up Asteroids. What else did I play? I played a couple of games on it, and I was like, this is really lame now. Like, I couldn't get back into it. And it's from my childhood. Like, I'm an 80s baby, and man, I've got a picture of me with my first Atari controller in my hand. But yeah, I don't know how far Atari can go. The best thing that Atari could do in regards to trying to make a comeback would be to try and go up against, do some original games and try and come up against your Xbox and your PlayStation. What have they got to lose? They're not in the game at the moment.
I mean, how is Atari even still a company around?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
what have they been doing till now? Right?
I'll tell you exactly what they've been doing, and I'll tell you what they're looking to do with these acquisitions. They are looking to do where they make their money on those plug and play games that you see at Walmart or big box stores that have Frogger on them, Pac-Man, whatever. It's all built around nostalgia. How much now? I have their figures, Adam. Their figures or their revenue from 2021. What would you guess the Atari revenue was from 2021? You ask how is this a company? Just take a guess.
Probably like $1 million, isn't it?
$1 million?
500 mil.
No, not 500 million. Raging Rhino, any guesses? Any guesses?
Man, I'd say just because it's Atari, maybe 10 million, maybe.
Yeah, a cool $22 million. In 2021. I mean, that's
wow
for something that hasn't really been relevant in. I went years.
High because it made you. I was just like, it seems like he's trying to trick me, so I'm just gonna throw a high number out there.
Lowest. I was like, he's probably.
But
terrible.
still, I mean, just they're essentially they have existing IPs, and that's what they're looking to do. So what they'll do is they'll make a new bundle with a bunch of these games. They'll release it. They'll release it as a downloadable title on Xbox and stuff. I don't think they're looking to compete against these companies at all. They're just looking to serve as a video game developer and publisher of their own IPs. And they released the Atari 50 collection this past year, which was like, honestly, it was lauded as like a spectacular collection, and it was. It was a very good collection, and more than anything else, it was a really good time capsule of Atari. That's essentially what you bought it for. I have it on Steam, and I really, really enjoyed it. It was definitely worth.
So it's another one of those companies that's just riding the nostalgia wave as long as they can.
Of course.
Okay.
You know how they could actually do better is like the old retro games. What you showed on the screen just before. They still got those old graphics and things like that. If they just did a remastering of some of these retro, keep the games the same, just remaster them, get the graphics up a little bit more, I think you'd probably have a whole new audience come in. Because those retro games, like a game like Frogger, for example, so simple, so basic, just get across the street, get across the pond, whatever it is. They are fun and repetitive to play. It's a bit like Tetris in a way. I mean, when Tetris came out on Game Boy, it was like you couldn't get enough of playing. It was so addictive for such a simple game. I don't know. I think that if they just cleaned it up a little bit, I think they could actually gauge a whole new audience on top of the nostalgia audience or the old fans.
The thing that I think is really smart about this, buying all these, is they can, in addition to Xbox, and the Switch and all these things, the big market for Atari in these simple games is the mobile device. You can sell a giant compilation pack for $2, $5, whatever, a subscription service, whatever. And dudes that are in their 40s and 50s can go and they can play these games on their phone. And you want to talk about the ease of play and these being simple one touch controls. You don't need super precise controls on some of these games. So I don't know. To me, it makes a lot of sense, and it'll be interesting to see kind of what they do with these titles. For me specifically, Bubsy, I'm curious about that. All right, let's move on to this other story. I saw this and I thought this was interesting. Are you guys fans of The Simpsons?
Sure, of course.
I used to be.
Right. So a lot of people say season 3 is when it kind of like peaked back in the day. It was very early. Very early. I think it's in like season 34 now or something along those lines. It's been on forever. And they continuously go. But a joke has been unearthed after 31 years using AI in the Simpsons, and I wanted to play this clip and get y'all's reactions to this. This was pretty interesting. So here we go.
I hope the Spinal Taps don't play too loud.
Oh, Marge, I went to thousands of heavy metal concerts and it never hurt me. I
So
hear you. Come on, boy.
So that's the joke, right? Is that he's deaf because he's been to so many shows, right? So here we go.
What Marge is saying is actually pretty funny, if I recall.
Oh, I remember it took us a long time to write it, and then we
Yeah.
mixed it down so nobody could hear it.
Oh, Marge, I went to thousands of heavy metal concerts and it never hurt me.
You're all right. Make sure they don't pick up any of the band's attitudes toward women.
I hear you. Come on, boy.
So there you go. After 31 years, we know what she said. Not that anybody really cared. So
Well, I didn't think that was that funny.
No.
They said they spent a long time writing it. That was
Yeah.
actually the
That's
people
what
who
they
wrote it.
accomplished?
It's like,
that's
oh,
exactly what they accomplished.
wait,
right?
but that was a joke, or just-
That was as bad as the writing on the Mandalorian.
Oh, boy.
See, that was the joke.
There's a tie-in. There it is. We'll get there. We'll get there for sure. So I don't know. Anyways, I just wanted to share that with you. I thought that was interesting. Would you like to get into the Mandalorian, or would you like to get into this crazy weird AI thing that I found? I wanted to show you guys.
Oh, I got opinions on AI.
Oh, here we go. Oh, fuck.
Oh boy. All right. I listen. That'll be absolutely. Let me show you this weird. I follow this thing on Twitter called Weird Dolly, DALLE, which is like the AI picture generator, and this is I don't know why I wanted to show you this. I just giggled at it, so I wanted to show it to you. This is Conan O'Brien eating fried chicken, then crashing his car.
Oh, this is creepy as shit.
Absolutely, it is.
Well,
think
it
that's
looks so
the-
weird.
I know. That's the thing about AI. It's just so messy and gross. Like he's got chicken all over his head, eating it while driving. And like you can see, it kind of looks like him, kind of looks like him in a weird way. The chicken doesn't look like chicken at all.
Weird, like clay type movies, like freaking Chicken Run.
Oh my god. Anyways, it's so fucking bizarre.
That's weird.
Yeah,
So
Oh,
the
man.
chicken becomes a
creeped
part of his
out.
face when it gets close.
And this is the future of entertainment, everybody. Oh, let's climb the
Yeah.
chicken mountain. There we go. Anyways, and these are the things that we all enjoy now on the internet. Thank you,
Well, most
artificial
of what Craig
intelligence.
enjoys on the internet, we're like,
thank
what
you,
is
Blabs.
this?
Thank you. I was gonna say it, but what?
You know the things that I've been enjoying from the AI is like I don't know if you've seen them, but like Joe Biden and like Trump and stuff playing video games together.
Yeah,
Like some
yeah,
of those are so
Obama.
good. Yeah,
Playing Minecraft.
yeah,
Yeah.
or Call of Duty, or some of them are so funny.
Yep, those
So
are going to be really big. It'll be interesting to see. I know, like we're talking about Joe Rogan, like these notable people who are influencers, content creators online. There was an AI, a completely AI generated podcast of Joe Rogan that was put out there. I know that,
Shit.
which is crazy. Every single line of it was created by AI, totally produced, and it sounds just like Rogan. Even the angry video game nerd James Rolfe, there's an angry video game nerd like AI version of him now, and I'll be very intrigued to see if these type of content creators, they go in and like, can you sue for the likeness of you?
Interesting.
Because it's technically supposed to emulate yourself or emulate you. So I don't know.
I've just got an opinion on AI that I don't know. I think it's dangerous to be dabbling in artificial intelligence. I really like. I mean, look, the only thing that we've got to go off is like movies and speculation and our own like what we can drum up in our heads in regards to what AI could do. But I just think it is supposed to be artificial intelligence that can effectively start to think on its own and start to, I don't know. I just think it's a dangerous thing for us to be getting into.
I agree.
Personally.
Very dangerous. Here's a quick snippet of the Joe Rogan AI experience with Donald Trump. Let me play a little bit of this for you guys.
That's an interview I'd love to see.
Rogan Podcast, check it out.
The Joe Rogan AI Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
Hey folks, welcome back to the Joe Rogan AI Experience. This is episode number 2, and I'm really excited to be here with you today. I have to remind everyone that every single word in this podcast has been generated by AI using ChatGPT. So this is not me, Joe Rogan, speaking, and these aren't the real voices of the people we'll be talking about. This is just AI technology showcasing what it's capable of. And let me say, it's pretty damn impressive. So let's dive in, sit back, relax.
So incredibly close.
AI generated.
Yeah, it's incredibly close. That's scary as shit.
Isn't it?
Scary as shit. Yeah.
Yeah, so how can you find out what's real and what's not when you have all
Running
that
Man
around?
Who the hell knows?
Dude.
Well, that's the thing too, is like, you know, if let's say in this clip, in this, 30-minute video, there's some controversial things that, the AI generated thing made Joe Rogan say or made Trump say, and it sounds exactly like them. Yeah, he's put the disclaimer in the beginning of the video to say, like, these are AI generated voices. They're not the real people, blah, 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 blah. But for somebody to just go to this, clip out a very controversial thing that can be said, and that be used to bring someone down. And we know how they fight out there when it comes to something like that. They don't look at the facts of it. They just take what's given to them and run with it. So it's dangerous in that sense too, I reckon. Let's take a glance and see how
this image looks like the guy from Spider-Man that works at the newspaper, who runs the newspaper.
Simmons, yeah.
J.K. Simmons. Yeah, hey. Yeah, okay, I'm not the only one. All right.
Yep.
To the UFC, but it's great to see that you have an appreciation for the sport.
Yeah, I love it, Joe.
So let's dive into the topic at hand. You've been banned from Twitter, one of the biggest social media platforms in the world. How has that impacted your life?
Let me tell you, Joe, it's been a tremendous change. Unbelievable. Twitter was a fantastic platform, the best, to connect with all my tremendous supporters and get my message out to the masses, the biggest masses you've ever seen. But since being banned, I've had to find alternative ways to communicate. And let me tell you, it's been a real eye-opener, believe me.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So,
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's fucking bizarre, man.
Like
And
it's wow.
Like it's that incredible that, like, even in one of the parts where Joe Rogan was speaking, like when he says "in the world," like the way he enunciates in his voice and the way that he speaks, it's all there. It sounds exactly like them, and
like
incredible.
How Trump says tremendous.
Yeah,
we should absolutely launch a Side Scrollers AI experience.
Oh gosh, I don't know about that. I don't know if I want the fake me going around.
That'd be good.
fake
What if you are the fake you? How do we know you're the real you?
Yeah, Blabs is fake news.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, I'll tell you what. There's the news for the day. There's the news. I can't deal with it anymore. It's just so much, and so much that we don't truly understand, which is bizarre to think about. Speaking of things that we truly don't understand, Rhino, you are a Mandalorian expert.
Yes.
The joy leaving his eyes.
So talk to us really quick. What does... Obviously, I think Mandalorian was very popular for season 1, season 2. A lot of people really enjoyed it. I stopped watching after season 1. I dropped Disney Plus after that, and then I just didn't get back into it. What happened? What the fuck happened to season 3? Because apparently it's just a huge clusterfuck.
Kathleen Kennedy.
Well, yeah, the Civil War. I personally, like with season 1 and season 2, I've had problems with this for a very long time. Like, I didn't think season 1 was actually all that good. That it had its problems, it had its flaws. And the crazy thing was that when I started pointing that out, and obviously there was all the Civil War news out there, people that I thought that were on, let's say, my side of the culture war and all of that sort of thing, were now coming after me for my abhorrent opinions in regards to this show around season 1, season 2, and all of that sort of thing. And it's crazy to think that a lot of those have actually turned the corner and seen this for what it really is now, which is actually not Star Wars. Like, it's become something other than it's supposed to be. Like, Star Wars
guys,
is, and welcome to Disney. Oh.
Sorry, that's my fault. That was me. Sorry.
Hearing my own voice, I'm like, no!
Sorry, that was my fault. I was pulling up your channel in the back end. Sorry.
So I don't. Star Wars right now has become, for like who it's being made for, is the people that will just accept it because it's Star Wars. I call them the SEALs. They sit there and they see a TIE fighter, and it's like they have these weird reactions to seeing a TIE fighter or seeing a lightsaber. And that's what Star Wars has become now. Everything has to be the next I am your father moment. So the reactions to seeing these things or seeing these characters or hearing this or whatever, it just comes across to me now as fake, completely fake. Like, as a massive Star Wars fan, it's not like I see a TIE fighter and I lose my shit. You know, it's like, okay, cool. That's a cool shot. Like, all right, awesome. Moving right along. Where's the story taking us? Where's it going? I mean, as you asked, Craig, this 3rd season of The Mandalorian has completely jumped the shark. It's fallen off a cliff from, I will say, from what it was, even though I had my problems with it from season 1 onwards. And I don't understand where this constant almost hope comes from, it being that Star Wars is under Disney's reign. I mean, you look at what they did with Obi-Wan Kenobi. If you can't see that they don't give a fuck about the continuity of that universe and the canon and the lore and everything that goes with being a part of the Star Wars galaxy, being a part of the Star Wars universe, they don't care. And that goes with people out there still think they're the saviors, John and Dave. They clearly don't give a fuck. And, you know, people want to say, oh, it's because Kathleen Kennedy jumped in there and she was meddling with it this time. It's, you know, it's not what John wanted to do and his stepping away and they killed off his character. So that's more evidence that there is a civil war. Like, no, I don't buy into any of that. These people, they've got that much money that they could create good Star Wars. Believe it or not, they could. And not go to the EU. But no one there cares. And man, sorry, I keep going off on different things, but if you look at what we got out of Star Wars Celebration this year, how can you not see what the problem is?
Well, okay, so let me say this. As somebody from the outside looking, I've seen my public stance, and the way it's going to be forever is I've seen each Star Wars one time, right? I am the fringe Star Wars guy, right? I thought that is it the 9th one? Is it The Last Jedi? Is that what that is?
You like the Last Jedi, the one with the sand, the red sand.
I like the one with the white sand and then the red and the I thought that was pretty fun. I don't really get into the lore, right? Do you feel that people who are, I don't know, do you feel like you're clinging on as a Star Wars fan from back in the day? Do you feel like you, Jeremy, Drunk 3PO, guys like that, do you guys feel like or like you in particular, do you feel like you're clinging on to something that was and something you're never going to see again? Like, is Star Wars done, and should you, just as a fan of the classic series, just move on to something else?
It's a question that goes on in my head very often. Like, you know, I built my channel because of The Last Jedi. I created my channel because of The Last Jedi, and it does revolve a lot around Star Wars. I have gone into Marvel and other things like that, but I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for like Jeremy or Drunk 3PO or anything. The reason why I watch it and continue to watch it, even though I know in my heart of hearts that it's going to be garbage and going to be, you know, again, not abiding to the laws of the universe, is because I need to know what they're doing. I need to actually point that, like, people say it's just hate. You're hate watching it. You're only watching it. And maybe that's true to an extent, because I already know going into it that what I'm going to see isn't Star Wars. But that's my whole point. Like, that's the message that I want to get across to people, is you're being blinded. You've got the beer goggles on and you're being completely blinded by the fact that you're seeing a droid on the screen, and you're just willing to sit there and seal clap to that. And that's enough for you. So in the eyes of the people making this stuff, that's all they need to do. All they need to do is jangle the keys. All they need to do is make sure that they give you the nostalgia, give you that feel. And that's where I say Star Wars and the fan base of Star Wars has changed massively. Like, I used to get excited about talking to a person about Star Wars if you found out that they were a Star Wars fan. I've told this story on my stream many times, but I'll tell you guys, I saw this tweet and a guy puts out, it was like 3 tweets long. You know, you got the number of characters, you can add another thread, basically, yeah. So he puts out this tweet and he says that he went to his new job and he found out that one of his co-workers was a massive Star Wars fan. So around the water cooler, like lunchtime, whatever, they were talking about it. And the guy asked him, "What's your favorite ship?" And the guy replies, "Din Cobb." And he's like, "What's a Din Cobb?" He's like, Din Djarin and Cobb Vanth. Those 2 guys,
Oh, ship.
That's my favorite ship. And he's like, "Dude, no, I meant, like, what's your favorite spaceship? Like, what's your favorite ship from the Star Wars universe?" And, like, that is what Star Wars is made for now. It's made for, it's basically become a platform for woke identity politics, female empowerment, all of the buzzword things. And basically, I'm here to explain to people why what we're watching isn't Star Wars. I always use the hashtag Disney Star Wars isn't Star Wars, and people are like, "Look at that hashtag, it's so long." Like, Disney Star Wars isn't Star Wars, and it's crazy to think that they bought it for $4 billion. They bought this IP for $4 billion, and they had the gold mine in front of their face. They had the expanded universe. All they had to do is adapt it. And they want to say, "Oh, it wasn't that popular anyway." Well, wouldn't it have been even better to adapt it? You would have kept the people that did read those books happy, and I bet you the fan base would be in a completely different position now that we're in if they had have just adapted those books. It's incredible to think.
You know what this reminds me of? Very much so. Very much reminds me of is, it reminds me of the fans of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was this time where there's 2D Sonic fans and 3D Sonic fans, and then there was the fans of the games, and there's the fans of like the cartoon and the anime and everything else. And it was very divisive. There was younger fans versus the classic fans, the older fans, right? And it's been interesting to see Sega have to balance it. And I think that's still there. That's still very much there. There's a divide within the Sonic fandom to where there's almost like 2 different audiences that watch Sonic. And I could see that with Star Wars for sure.
You see that more with, like, it's always been there for Star Wars. You see the original trilogy Star Wars fans, and then you see the prequel trilogy Star Wars fans, and there is a little bit of a divide in there, right? There can be. I look at all, like, I love the prequel trilogy. I love the OT just as much as each other. I think they're both fine. Obviously, in the prequels, there's a couple of problems, but anyway, there's always been that little bit of a divide. The thing that I look at with let's say the sequel trilogy stuff, for example, people go on Twitter and they're like, "Oh, give it some time, just like the prequels. The sequels will be beloved by all the fans down the track." Bullshit. There's no way that I could sit there and say 10 years down the track, "Oh, The Last Jedi is a brilliant movie. They did Luke Skywalker justice. Fantastic. Great job, Rian Johnson." No chance that is ever going to happen. And now they're just doubling down on that by now recasting Daisy
Ridley. Someone clip that and post it.
Time code
Trav. Seems like he's actually saying it.
Hey, Brom says Craig has some really bad Star Wars takes. I don't have Star Wars takes.
He doesn't have an opinion on Star Wars, so it doesn't count anyway.
Yeah. Like I all I can say is like just looking at it from the outside in. I'm not qualified to talk about Star Wars. If you were to give me a lineup of
a lot of
some
things.
of the listen, we all are, aren't we? You know, just saying. There are things that we're experts in. There's things that we're not. But Star Wars is something I'm not an expert in. But I can look at it from the outside in and say, like, well, why is this way? You know, I think we can all do that. And these are questions that I feel like needed to be asked. So, and I understand that. I very much understand your perspective on it. So with season 3, when you say it jumped the shark, I saw jumping Baby Yoda, and then I saw Lizzo, and that all looked hilariously bad.
My tweet went absolutely viral. I've never experienced anything like that tweet that I put out. 6.4 million views.
Wow.
Yeah, we shared it. That was the Lizzo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They even showed it on what Matt Walsh did a video on it. Like, yeah. He didn't give me a shout out though. You could have used my name. No. But yeah, he used my clip because I knew where the edit was, and he definitely used my clip. But and he talked about it going viral. But anyway, that's my claim to fame. Matt Walsh used my he saw my Twitter. But like there were just so many. Like, okay, season 1, it was cohesive enough, I guess. I look at it deeper than just like the just the surface level story. Like, obviously I look at all the lore problems that they had, the continuity issues, you know, look at what we've learned from the past, look at what we know in the future, and try and fit it in properly. So there were issues with that, but season 1 was okay. Season 2 was cameo, jangling keys, nostalgia, and the story sort of falls off. And then, of course, they have the Luke Skywalker moment. Everybody's going absolutely apeshit. This is the Luke Skywalker we should have had. Like, okay. Anyway, I could say a lot about that. Then, of course, we come into season 3, and the story has completely
evolved.
It's where is it? Grogu, Baby Yoda, he's just a merchandise. He's a product placement. That is the best way to explain what Grogu is in this 3rd season. Product placement. It is literally an ad to go and buy your Baby Yoda. Go get your Mecha Grogu. You know, your Mecha, you get him in his little IG-12 suit. You know, get his little wristband and you can play, you know, darts with him or something. I don't know. And then the cameos were basically just celebrities that don't know how to act. Well, Jack Black's fine. I think he can act. In this, he was horrible, though. I hope that this isn't the last thing we see Christopher Lloyd ever do, or else that's just an abomination for his career.
That's tough.
I think he was the best out of the 3 of those people.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah. He was working with what he had, so.
Trevor came in and says, I'm not even a Star Wars fan, but The Last Jedi is objectively a terrible movie. Plot holes, logical inconsistencies, etc. Asshats like Bolin call you sexist for pointing that out. Okay, Sean Bolin, yeah.
It's the audience's fault, right?
Mm-hmm.
Always.
The Last Jedi was really bad because of the reaction to the backlash to the movie. Right, that got progressively worse very quickly. Like, you know, that escalated quickly. Like, that really did escalate very quickly with Rian Johnson coming out, you know, with everything that he was saying, man babies, go and drink your soy boy tears, or you know, whatever all that garbage that happened. But if you look at The Rise of Skywalker, that is a worse movie than The Last Jedi. But The Last Jedi does more damage because The Rise of Skywalker is trying to repair some of that damage. And it does a very bad job of it, but it's just
do it at all.
It's just all over the place. That movie is an absolute mess. And this is what I'm saying about how crazy it is where we are in this fandom at the moment with this IP, with Star Wars. It was the one thing that should have been able to print money hand over fist. Like, it should have just been an avalanche of money being thrown at Disney.
It did though. They
at
made
the
a
beginning,
shit ton of money.
Yep, off The Force Awakens, they made a shit ton that hit $2 billion. But as you can see, if you were to just put it on a graph, it's progressively gotten worse to the point now where we got crappy TV shows that don't even make sense. Like, I don't know what they think this volume is. Like, let me just say, like, the way that this show is shot and everything that they do. You know what Andor, I reckon, is everybody reckons that Andor is so good? Because it was actually shot with practical backgrounds. It was actually shot out on a set somewhere that they've actually, it's actually a place as opposed to just being in this volume that they've got no room in. You can almost see the background that being fake in some of the shots, not all of the shots. I just don't understand how something as massive, the juggernaut that Star Wars was, could be where we are now with it. I just don't. Yeah. And people want to say it's alive. Okay, that's fine.
I think it's a lack of source material. That they just didn't have anything to work with. Clearly.
Clearly. We had no books or comics or anything.
Yeah, nothing to go on.
Look, I know I rant and rave. I do, because I love Star Wars so much, and there's moments where I get angry about it. I've hit apathy. Like, I haven't hit grief yet. Let's just say that. I haven't cried about it yet. But it's not just Star Wars that's being destroyed at the moment. All these remakes and everything that we're getting these days is just leave it alone. If you're not going to be honorable to, let's say, the source material, it's a bit like The Rings of Power. I don't know if I didn't watch it personally. I don't know if you guys did at all, but
I watched
from what I heard
through Disparu.
Yeah, that's who I watched it through as well. Yeah. It was horrible. That was really, really bad. And it does Tolkien a disservice. It does the whole Lord of the Rings franchise a disservice. But yet these people that make this stuff are continually greenlit to do another project or destroy the next thing. I don't know where we are right now in our entertainment. Superman's son is now gay. Woohoo! Let's celebrate. Like,
that was canceled. That was canceled. They canceled that.
Why?
Because they even did it.
Because nobody could buy it, or
no one did buy it.
Nobody did buy it.
Is the reason.
Exactly. That's what I meant.
I think one of the most interesting things about when you see the kind of the forced diversity, right? When they say, oh, like a woman comes in and she's like, I'm a strong woman, and like everybody's like, cool. And then they just there's that meme of like, yeah, cool. It's like, yeah, awesome. And it's that meme of like somebody coming in and being like, hey, I want to let you know that I'm this, and everyone's like, cool, yeah. And then they just go back to talking. That's like how most people are, but it's like when it's like, but that person just keeps tapping you and going, hey, look at me, I'm a strong woman, or it's like that's where it gets ridiculous.
Insert anything. It doesn't matter. Vegan, gay, LGBT, whatever, trans. I guess like a lot of that shit, because a lot of those people tend to do that. Like,
it's their identity.
Special. I'm special because of this. Why aren't you treating me like I'm special? And it's like, I don't treat anyone like they're special. Mm-hmm. You got to fucking earn that. You're nothing. Like, what the fuck? No one's anything.
And then they get offended when you go, yeah, okay. And you keep just going back to your conversation, like you were saying, Craig. And then it's like, oh, I didn't get noticed. I didn't get seen. How dare they? Cancel. Me too. Like, it's fucking crazy. Anyway.
Let's, so obviously you're, what do you think that Star Wars will ever recover Raging Rhino?
Not under Disney, for sure. And honestly, for me, as a longtime Star Wars fan, as somebody that like absolutely loves the story, absolutely loves the universe, loves the EU, all of this kind of thing, the only way that they can actually fix this is to decanonize everything that they've done, start again, and use the EU as a template to move forward.
They still have the script that George Lucas wrote for 7, 8, and 9.
Mm-hmm. They still have the ability to do it.
Just fucking do that, please.
This is the thing. Do you have any idea how much money they would make if they came out, honestly, admitted fault, said, we made a mistake. Okay, everything that we've come out with. It's there. If you like it, you can watch it. We've got Obi-Wan, we've got Book of Boba Fett, we've got Andor, we've got 3 seasons of Mando, we've got the Rebels, we've got the Clone Wars, all of that. But we are going to decanonize that and put that to the side, and we're going to reintroduce the EU. Using those 3 treatments, obviously you can't get the cast back together. Harrison Ford's not coming back. No, I don't think there's any amount of money that you could pay him now for him to come back and do another Star Wars movie.
No
exactly,
way.
And he's too old as well. You've got no Carrie Fisher. We've only got Mark Hamill, who, again, now looks like he is an activist. Let me just say that. He's aged so much that his activism has aged him so much. You just do those treatments. As an animator, you spend the money, right? And you make the animation, like, so fucking good, like, spot on. But you release 3 animated movies as your sequel trilogy. They'll make money. They will make a shit ton of money at the box office. I swear to God. If they use the EU as the template for 7, 8, and 9, use George's treatments, but just did it all animated because you can't use Carrie Fisher. You'd hate to see the skin version of Carrie again.
I mean, but you look at what they did with Luke in Book of Boba, and like it was really, I mean, it didn't bother me. Like he looked like young Luke Skywalker, right?
I still call him Skinwalker because Skinwalker. I can see it. There was no emotion in the face.
Yeah, he was a bit vague.
Yeah, I could feel that. Yeah.
There was no
soulless.
Yeah, it's very soulless. And even the way that the lines were delivered, they were very monotone and very
In a couple of years, I think they could probably pull it off a lot better.
Maybe. But I still think if they just went animated movies and then jumped 30 years into the future, told the story about Jason and Jaina and Anakin Solo and Ben Skywalker, and you did the EU and you move forward with those characters, they'd make shit tons.
I agree.
The thing that blows my mind is they want us to use this whole the Force is female. And again, if you look at Star Wars Celebration and how much everything is female led, everything is now you got that chick coming out for the Acolyte going, yes, the mum is such a strong woman, yes. Like all of this garbage. It's like
I missed that.
You had Mara Jade, you had Jaina Solo. These are lead female characters, strong as characters in this universe. That you could have just told those stories.
Yeah, but they need to get into people's heads when you hear Star Wars. They want people to think Disney. They don't want people to think Lucas. They want to sell their product, so they don't have to worry about royalties or anything. It's like no, Skywalker. You're thinking Rey. Everyone's like, oh yeah, Rey Skywalker, right? Not Luke Skywalker.
Not Anakin.
Ben Solo. Oh, Ben Solo, right? He's the guy that he turned good at the very end because Rey is such a swell gal,
So swell.
Yeah, they're trying to the past is dead. I mean, the classic line from the actual their own, they wrote this. The past is dead, let it die. It's like you're talking Star Wars or you're talking about like the Jedi? Yeah, like that's actually you're talking about Star Wars. Okay, in Star Wars, letting Star Wars die. Wow.
Poll in the chat.
There's been so much.
I don't like the way you wrote that. Actually, I'm sorry.
The poll.
Yeah, should the final 3 Star Wars films be remade? No, the final 3 movies need to be put in a pasture and shot.
Burnt.
Not touched ever again. Decanonized, like dropped off in the middle of the ocean and let sink to the bottom for the bottom feeders to eat, and they probably won't even want to touch it. I think kind of vibe.
I think the chat understands what I'm going off of, but I get it for sure. It's close now, 50-50 right now. Well, the thing about Star Wars is that there will always be people who hate it, and there will always be people who love it. And what's crazy about that is, it goes back to the idea that you either die a hero or stick around long enough to be a villain, and that's kind of the thing what we're seeing with Star Wars right here. So.
I don't know if I agree. Star Wars died when Lucas sold it. I'm sorry.
I agree with that. I do agree with that.
It's already done.
It died a little bit when it got sold, but it died fully when they decided to get rid of the EU. It really did. That was when it fully hit the
No source material. Don't
Yeah.
forget.
All right,
I can't remember what I was going to say. Anyway,
let's take a look at some memes. The Legion of Memers have been really hard,
the Legion.
going hard, man. They've been going
gotta
hard
get a
today,
drink.
and I appreciate it. Yeah, grab yourself a drink.
I'll
We'll
be
take a
right
look at
back.
some of these memers here. Here we go. This one is from No Green Rocks, obviously Superman. Let's check it out.
I'm watching.
Superman. I saw this,
Here, let's do
and
this one
I'm
more
a little
time.
bummed that I'm not in here. I'm just gonna say. So just saying. A little sad.
Is there sound? I don't know. I didn't play it.
I don't think so.
Yeah, there's sound. Oh, you know
we
what?
don't
Yeah,
have
I'm sorry.
audio.
I've it muted. Here we go. It's just he's just going through it. Doesn't not any additional sound.
Oh, the music. Okay.
There we go. Nice. Thank you very much. Love that. Great stuff.
Man, if they kept
here
that
is-
energy for Book of Boba, fuck. Stupid. Man.
Here's another
Yeah, that
one.
was awesome. Great.
Oh shit.
This is get it out. Shout at the rooftops. This is great. This is the bee's knees, item 9.
Private.
I'm serious. Fuck you.
I've seen enough. This never happened.
Dude, what happened to your eye? Hey, hello. Bleep, blorp, bleep, bleep, blorp.
I'm here today because I'm addicted to marijuana. Marijuana is not a drug. I used to suck dick for coke. I see that. You ever suck some dick for marijuana? Huh?
Was that Bob Saget?
Yeah.
What a great
I can't
scene,
say
dude.
that. Fool this man.
Just so you know, if you ever hear me say "ha," that's a direct reference to this right here.
I used to suck dick for coke. I seen him.
I seen him.
You ever suck some dick for marijuana? Huh?
Ha. If you ever hear me say that, that's a direct reference to that scene. Or I seen him. That's a direct reference.
I seen him. That's good.
Here we go. Here's another one. Doing his part to increase literacy. Stuttering Craig Center for kids who can't read good and also want to learn to do other stuff good too. The irony that I misread that is not lost.
It's not lost on me either, buddy.
Love it. I've never been a good reader. Never have. That's why I didn't go into journalism. And here we go. Here's the next one from Extra Zero. Half Cragged. Look at that, man.
Look how happy Travis is.
Love that. Look at Adam over here looking so happy.
Yeah.
Good. I'm looking high as a kite.
Yeah, you are.
Adam and I match with our purple. My purple beanie is purple shirt.
Perfect.
All right. Next one from Extra Zero. Tastes like chucking a sickie to go to the tennis. What the hell does that mean?
Chucking a sickie. So that's calling work and saying I'm sick when you're not sick. That's chucking a sickie.
That's a real line. This is an actual ad.
Is this a legit ad?
For Vegemite?
It wouldn't surprise me if it is. That's something. Chucking a sickie to go to the tennis.
So it's
Funny.
faking sick to get out of work to go to
play
the
tennis.
tennis.
And that's because we've got the Australian Open here. So that might have been an ad while the Australian Open was going. Maybe, possibly.
Tastes like Australia. So wait, would that be accurate? So Australia tastes like shit, is what I'm gathering.
Yeah. Fuck you.
To some people. Sorry, that's to some people. No, I haven't tried it yet, but I hear it's disgusting. But it could have been the cruel Australians that just gave them the spoonful.
I feel like Australians just don't know what real food is. You know, been living on
Maybe
the
that's
island
what
for
it
so
is.
long.
Hey,
True.
we've got some
Prison
great food here. Just because we've
Like
got
Outback.
Vegemite doesn't mean all the food that we eat is shit. We just don't have Outback Steakhouse either. So
Wait, I just found out today you don't even barbecue shrimp. Like,
yeah,
what's
that's
wrong with
right.
it?
I know.
Weird.
That's right.
I love it. Yeah, brother.
He may live in Sweden, but Adam Kruger won't forget where he's from. Let's go. Thank you so much, Extra Zero. Appreciate that. And
Nice.
Blab
Gotta
said it.
love the Legion.
Oh my
Not you
god,
can't-
what the fuck is this?
I don't get it.
Wait, did she say, wait, what did she say?
What did I say?
Why am I the mother of dragons?
Yeah.
These are all wonderful questions that I do not have an
Jakaris.
answer for.
I don't remember saying Adam was a mother.
Extra Zero, you got some splaining to do, dog. What the hell was that?
Love it.
I don't understand.
Well, there you go. The memes will end the show. I think that's where we're gonna put the memes at the end of the show. Give them opportunity to go crazy. I love it every single day. Thank you guys so much. Like you guys are such a big part of what we have going on over here. So real quick, Rhino, tell everybody where they can find you and what you do, so everyone can go subscribe to your channel and all that fun stuff.
Well, first of all, thank you for the invite. I really appreciate the invite and coming on. It's been great having a chat. I always talk Star Wars. Everything always comes back to Star Wars. My chat will tell you that.
If you say Star Wars, he usually activates and just shows up. She shows up.
Yeah, I'll show up in the chat. But yeah, I love what you guys are doing here. I don't get to catch them live because again, it's 2 a.m. when you do go live. But I've watched a couple on replay, and it's good to watch, good listening. But where you can find me, obviously, Raging Rhino on YouTube. I've got a Twitch as well, and of course a Twitter. If you like what Disney is doing with Star Wars, you probably won't like my content. You probably just call me a hater. So that's okay. You can still come over and subscribe. But that's pretty much what I'm doing at the moment. I've got a few video essay style videos, like scripted videos over there, which I'm quite proud of. They're my favorite videos to do. I just haven't done one in a long time, so I need to get onto that. But you can find all my reviews for this season of Mando over there. I've got my stream later today, which is in 9 hours, something like that, to basically go through this entire season. I'm going to have X-Wing on. I don't know if you guys know X-Wing. I'm going to have him on. I'm probably going to have Mr. Grant Gregory on. And possibly, I'm hoping Robot Head comes on. So that'll be awesome. But yeah, thanks again for the invite. And please come over, subscribe. Love it.
Love it.
Awesome. A lot of fun.
We do have one more meme popping in before we Oh, we're gonna get flagged so hard. Here we go.
We have it. We at the Pentagon have developed a top secret time machine. Let us proceed. I give you the father of our country, President George Washington.
Where am I? What has happened?
You must be confused. Hello, President Washington. Welcome.
All right, lovely. There you go. I love your powdered wig.
That's a legitimate white powder wig that I have. Oh, I don't know if you know about that.
Casual.
No.
Straight up. I ordered it from London. It's like from an actual like proper wig maker, from like where they made white powder wigs. Like I've got one. To be a
humble brag.
Father.
Yeah.
Can I ask how much that cost you?
I think it was like $250.
Damn, it's legit.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
It's kind of pricey.
Oh my god.
I spent
that much money.
Wow, that's nuts.
Yeah.
All right, Adam, you got anything going on?
Well, I just want to say shout out to Quarter Black Garrett because he made me this. And
nice.
I fucking love it.
I saw that before. I was like,
so,
what?
Quarter Black Garrett, you're the man. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. He joins me on Sunday nights on Forbidden Frontier with Gary from Nerdrotic. We talk about all sorts of crazy stuff. We've been talking about Skinwalker Ranch lately. We talk about Ancient Apocalypse from Graham Hancock, Randall Carlson theories about Scablands and Younger Dryas stuff. Just all sorts of ancient Earth theories and stuff. It's a lot of fun. And that's called Forbidden Frontiers on Sunday nights. Then I have Base Staff Monday where Garrett also joins me. And I talk with Flawedzilla. I also talk to Darth Call, Andreas Exertus, and Georgia Giant Slayer. They all join me. And it's called Base Staff Monday. We just have a fun time laughing and chatting about whatever the hell we're thinking about. And then Tuesday Titans, Georgia Giant Slayer joins me again. And we talk about politics. Really just kind of him and I just talking about the state of politics in the world. I used to talk politics all the time. Now I kind of narrowed it down to just one day because my brain needed a break. And then I actually go live Monday through Friday on my, I was going to say Twitch, but I used to go on Twitch. Now I Rumble and Locals. and I've been playing a lot of Destiny 2. We are attempting the Master Nezarec challenge tonight. It is a big pain in the ass, but yeah, thanks. Oh,
All
it's
right.
so good. I'm sorry.
Labs.
Right, so actually, I want to plug something that both Rhino and I are on. We are part of the Full Aussie, and so actually this weekend we have an episode because we're live every other weekend. Rhino, do you want to give a little plug? You're better at it than I am.
Yeah, I actually was going to ask if I could plug one more thing, and this was it. Myself, a couple of other Aussie guys, Lethal Lightning, Mozza, Mr. Mozza, and Mr. Grant Gregory. We're all the Aussies that are on there, and then we've got our token female Americans with Blabs, Wicked Virtue, and My Nerdy Home. Steph is always on there as well. And we've just started this stream a few years ago, and we actually created a YouTube channel. I'll put it in the private chat because I'm not obviously.
I've already linked it.
Okay, good. But yeah, it's a little bit different. We don't dive into the pop culture stuff a heap. We just talk about some ridiculous, stupid topics. We've got some great segments on there. We've got retards in cars. We've got the Ming and Mozza moment, which is just a new segment that we've come up with. It's actually a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun with it. But we're trying to get the Full Aussie channel to the 1,000 subscribers, try and get that monetized. We've got a few guys that are doing some great work over there. We've got one guy, Kenzo UK. I don't know if you know him, but he's a part of the Legion of Memers. He's animating all of us and doing these episodes.
He's in the chat.
It's incredible, like what's come from this. But we really want to get that channel moving, and we put content on there every day. They are clipped out from old streams, and there's all this new content being put on there, and it doesn't seem to move the way we want it to really move. It's kind of weird how, I don't know, the YouTube algorithm works, but we really want to get that moving. Please go over and subscribe to that channel as well. It would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, every second week we do the Full Aussie
10 a.m.
stream.
Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
I was the 420th subscriber on 420.
Nice.
We're
playing.
420.
Nice.
That's significant.
Thanks, Adam.
That's perfect.
Amazing.
It's a sign.
Feels good. Feels good, man.
All right. Well,
Thanks.
let's get out of here. We're going to head over to...
If it's okay.
Oh, yes. Fire away, Blabs.
Sorry, Craig.
We've been having our
Friday
outro
night
for
on my
15
kick.
minutes. Yeah, go ahead.
It's a Friday night on my kick. I'll be playing Destiny. That's it. Okay.
Oh, cool. We'll head over and follow Blabs on Kick. All right, we're going to head over to patreon.com/sidescrollers. Now, I actually have something very interesting to talk to you guys about over there. We're going to be talking about this this new game that trailer's been released that I would be interested to get your thoughts on. So head over to patreon.com/sidescrollers. Join us over there if you guys have not. My watch is reminding me to get my steps in. You've been sitting around for too fucking long. So now I got to get a few hundred steps in before.
Your watch is yelling at you.
That's right. I said, get out of here. Stop moving. With that said, guys, I'll be live tonight. We are doing a really fun show. I'm going to be talking to people who have worked in sex shops tonight on Side Scrollers After Dark. Tonight at...
that was all natural.
Yeah, I like that.
Much better.
I like that.
Okay,
That was
good.
way better.
It was way better, but still creeped me
Didn't
out.
even need a voice changer.
Yeah,
The point is, be here tonight, 10 o'clock Central Time. We're going to have Travis. We're going to have Panda on. It's going to be really, really fun. But in the meantime, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it, motherfuckers. I'll see you guys later. Have a great day. Twitch, it's time to say goodbye.
Fatality.
There you go. Rumble, let's say goodbye to you, friends. Thank you guys very much for tuning in today. Rumble, goodbye.
No, Rumble gets the toasty. I love Rumble.
Yeah, Rumble's great.
Sorry,
and
Blab's like, I just fell over.
Error 404 not found.
YouTube, have a good night.
Fatality.
All right.